The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
We're so thrilled to have on the show multi-platinum selling, incredible artist, singer, songwriter, guitarist. He does it all for Vertical Horizon, Matt Scannell. And it's like, I mean, I'm so thrilled to have you on.
Thank you, Eric. I'm glad to be here.
I told you this before. It's like, back in the 90s, obviously, when you guys had so many hit songs, Everything You Want, 25th anniversary. Yeah. And I did play a few of your songs in some cover bands.
Nice. Fantastic. Thank you, man.
But you guys are still living the dream.
Yeah.
And now they're repressing the album in orange translucent vinyl.
Yeah. For the 25th anniversary, we're doing that, and it's great. We're going to celebrate this whole year.
I've heard the joke online, I got to bring this up, Matt, to where you never seem to age.
Ah.
How did you work that? How did you work that voodoo from the 90s to now?
I just went bald early. That was the genius move. It wasn't a master plan or anything, but it was a good call.
Because here we are, because even from the videos from back then, and obviously through the years with so many hit songs that you guys have had, but it's like you still look the same and sound the same. It's just that, you guys are doing so many tours, and also the big tour with Gin Blossoms and Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Wow, those are three great bands. It's like the old 50s days where you'd have every band would do like two songs. Right. You guys have to decide what hits to play, right?
Oh man, we're fortunate that the music sort of remains out there, that people still like these songs.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to be able to share the stage with bands also sort of from our era, people who are also like really good people.
Right.
It's great to work that way.
Well, and it's got to be different now. You and I were talking to where coming out and being so huge in the 90s, I mean, you guys were everywhere. I mean, I think, the one song, it was on the charts for, 41 weeks or something? I think,
Everything You Want.
Yeah, Everything You Want. 41 weeks on Billboard Hot Hits. Yeah. Kind of unheard of in this day and age.
It held the record, and I don't know if it still does, but it held the record at one point for taking the longest time to reach #1.
Really?
So it was like the little engine that could, which I just love. That's a great record.
But you would hear it, the songs from that album everywhere. But we were bringing up also that now, you guys were like the hot young hip band of the 90s. I mean, starting out in college, and it's like now people are bringing their kids and grandkids to the shows.
Yeah, the grandkids. I mean. At first, I have to admit, at first it was weird, right? You sort of go from in the like meet and greet line or whatever, you go from I'm a big fan, right? To my mom is a huge fan. That's weird. And then my grandfather's a huge fan. But then what you realize is like we should all be so lucky, as to have a family, have families out there, for whom our music means something to them collectively.
Right.
That is a miracle. It really, really is.
Well, and also such a storied career for so many years, and you and I were talking also about playing for the military.
Yes.
And traveling overseas, which Vertical Horizon has done a lot of. Yeah. And what a great fan base there also.
Well, it's a real passion for all of us. I didn't serve in the military when I was younger, but some of my dear friends did. Right. And my whole life I felt like there was something that I should have done that I didn't do. And so now we're given the opportunity, and we are honored to be given that opportunity to play for the men and women who serve our country all over the world. And I have to say, those are the most important shows we play. By some order.
Well, and especially to have our soldiers protecting us and singing back your songs to you.
Oh man!
No matter where you are in the world.
Yeah, it's unbelievable too, because sometimes we'll see a serviceman or man or woman holding up an iPad, and they'll be FaceTiming with their family back in the States.
Wow!
So they're watching the show together.
Yeah.
Which is. That's a miracle.
Well, and I got to bring this up also, Matt. You're such a talented artist, and with the songwriting and singing and everything, and also drumming on the side in your spare time. But you've been doing some solo acoustic shows.
I have.
Breaking out the Taylors.
Yes.
And putting the 900 series through the paces.
Yes, I have. I mean, most of the songs start on the acoustic guitar.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a firm believer that, like, if a song can withstand being stripped down to that much of a basic format, then it plausibly is a good song. And it's really nice for me to be able to just go out, just the acoustic guitar and my voice, and play a show. It's also really how the band started back in '91 or so. We just started as an acoustic duo, so it feels like a return to roots in some ways.
But also, I think it's great to hear them both ways. Like you said, a great song will hold up acoustically like that.
Yeah.
And as an artist, I mean, like you said, you usually write the songs acoustically.
Yes.
And then you have to bring them to the band to get the full experience.
Right. Yeah, it is fun. It's a challenging journey to start from that simple place, and then find the right home for it. You can overstep, you can go over the line, or you can also kind of maybe not get it right, And so it's really, but if you know it works that simply, then you've probably got a good song.
Well, and also the hook, because I always thought what was great about Vertical Horizon was just singable. You get the chorus, you did a great job with the choruses on these songs, and they just get in your head.
Oh, thanks,
man.
man.
And I mean, that's a great thing to be, because then people are like, yeah, and you can associate those songs, certainly with a time in your life.
Yeah, I think that's, music has that ability to sort of bring us back to important moments. And I think it is an amazing thing, I mean, I know for me, my favorite artists growing up, bands like Rush, and we were talking about James Taylor earlier, right? You hear one of their songs or specific songs that bring you back to important moments in your life. And for us now, there are a lot of people out there, who have Vertical Horizon songs, that meant something to them in important moments. I mean, that's incredible.
And now shared with their families.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to ask you this question then. Obviously, did the 7-year-old Matt, starting out playing guitar, ever think that he would be hanging out with the other, huge bands, with Richard Marx, with Hugh Jackman, doing stuff with these guys, and having a band that is celebrating its 25th anniversary?
No, never. Definitely not. I had hoped that I could have a period of my life where I played music professionally, just to tick that box, right? And from the earliest time when we started the band, we thought, well, we'll give it a year. Okay, well, we'll give it another year. We'll give it another year. And now, I mean, starting in '91, right? I don't even know what the math is on that. It's significant, right? 30-something years. I've stopped saying to myself, I'll give it another year. I just know this is what I do.
Well, I mean, it's also incredible that you're still writing songs. I know we can't talk about this, but there's been rumors of a few new albums that are in the works that you're constantly songwriting. I always enjoy seeing you on stage and seeing you in concert with your favorite Paul Reed Smith guitars. I know you have a huge relationship with them. But the rumor is now that you're not using your favorite tube amplifiers, which you have done for years with Vertical Horizon. You've embraced the new technology.
Yeah, I kind of went kicking and screaming because I'm a traditionalist at heart. And I love the interaction, the sort of organic feeling as a player with tube amps specifically. But over the past couple of years, Line 6, with whom I have a really good relationship, and there are many other great products out there that are doing the same thing, they cracked the code as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
And so now I use a Marshall Plexi model live. Probably my favorite amp is a 1968 small box Marshall Plexi that has been with me for a long time and is on all of our records. And when I play live now, I feel like I'm playing my amp.
How incredible.
It's
gotten
amazing.
That good. Well, and especially like you and I were talking, for traveling overseas and certainly for our soldiers and everything, you guys tour a lot.
Yes.
Vertical Horizon is always on tour.
Yeah.
It's got to be easier than walking in with the back line and going, what's my mystery amp for the night?
Yeah, a lot of that's, you're absolutely right. So a lot, that's perfectly said. A lot of the amps we come in contact with, because we do a fair bit of, flying into a town and then flying to another town, is like, hey, I'm using a brand new amp every single night. And some of these guys have been sort of rode hard and put away wet. Is that the expression?
And maybe not retubed in a decade or so.
Yeah, and almost every day, I love 412 cabinets.
Oh, yeah.
That's my thing. So, there are mysterious rattles that you're hearing. So I'm back there with a screwdriver trying to make sure
trying to
everything's
adjust
tight.
the baffles.
Yeah, I mean, So on so many levels, it makes the day easier. Never mind the fact that my whole rig is about this big and fits in the bottom of a split rolling duffel bag.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. And
Yeah.
I don't feel, it's important to say, I don't feel like I'm making a sacrifice.
That's a huge step.
You know?
Totally.
Because
Especially with
otherwise,
the sound, because you guys have such an organic live sound.
Thanks.
And I mean, people come to see the band and they want to hear it
Yeah.
like the album.
it's got to sound a certain way, and I think we're there. I think we're there now. I don't even like saying it out loud because I love my old tube amps,
Right.
but I think we're there.
But you can still use them in studio.
I use them all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time. But the other thing, actually, that's great, because we can nerd out a little
Oh,
bit,
yeah,
right?
totally.
So when I'm recording, I record. There's a Fryette product that has really changed the game as far as I'm concerned, called the Power Station.
Oh, yeah.
And so it enables me to run these beautiful old non-master tube amps at reasonable levels.
Right.
So I practice with my plexis. And they're just, I can play them at a bedroom level. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter,
Which
right?
we couldn't back in the day.
No, you'd be blowing
Yeah,
the
it was
roof
kind of
off.
like the Meatloaf thing with the ears bleeding.
Yes.
It's like, yeah.
And that's
People 3 blocks down. It's like, sounds like Matt's practicing.
and it turns out that's not good for us.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I'll tell you what is good for you, though, is the new album out. I mean, the reprinting,
Yeah.
25th anniversary.
Yeah.
And so are you guys going to have these out on tour also? Because I know they can
Yes.
get autographed copies on the website.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, everything you want, the vinyl, the repress will be available, and we'll be selling it at our live shows. And you know, we're going to be celebrating the record and, you know, playing some deep tracks off the record as well.
Oh my gosh, and the deep tracks I think are just as good as the hits. That's the thing. I
Oh,
mean, with the albums that Vertical Horizon and you came up with, it's just so many good songs.
Thank you. But yeah, we're going to sell it live, you know, at the shows, and we're just grateful. I mean, everything you want's been really good to us over the years, so it's nice to be able to celebrate the anniversary and, you know, have something cool. I mean, just looking at the artwork, right, in the sort of vinyl format,
I love it.
It's just cooler.
Well, you know, and back in that time too, you know, back in the 90s and back, you know, to where it's like, that's what we did.
Oh,
you know,
man.
you put on the album and then you'd look at the pictures, you'd read the lyrics, you actually looked at who was playing on it, all the musicians, the
Right.
engineer, the producer.
Sure.
You wanted to know all of it.
Yeah, all the stuff was fun, you know, and and just the format was better than like the little thumbnail on your phone.
Right. Oh my gosh, so much better. Although you guys are all over Spotify and digital platforms also.
Yes.
And available on CD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
it's
the
out
formats.
there. It is out there, man.
All we have to do is bring back the cassette now.
Oh yeah, and the 8-track. I don't
Yeah.
think we have any 8-tracks.
Oh my gosh. I remember my parents' 8-track. So I want to make sure for our viewers and everything too, Matt, that they know where to go for everything Vertical Horizon, for the shows, for the album, for the other cool merch, and obviously with you guys on tour with the Gin Blossoms and Toad the Wet Sprocket. What's the website and social media?
Yeah, so verticalhorizon.com is our website, and you can find all of our information there. Social media stuff is Instagram's official Vertical Horizon. I believe our Facebook is official Vertical Horizon as well, and then X, Twitter is at Vertical Horizon. So we're out there.
I'll tell you what, and you want to hit Vertical Horizon wherever you go, get your own copy of this incredible album, 25th anniversary. I can't believe it. It snuck up on us. But everything you want is out. You got to get it. But go see the guys live also with Matt and the entire band. You're going to love the show, especially with Toad the Wet Sprocket and Gin Blossoms.
Yeah, it's great.
It's trifecta of great bands.
Yeah, it is. And can I just say one thing?
Of course.
So the reason we're able to celebrate a 25-year anniversary is because we have people who support us. Right. And we have a fan base, friend base, I'm not, you know, whatever. I don't know, fan, I'm not sure. I feel like they're our friends. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they lift us up and sort of carry us.
Right.
They help us put gas in the truck to get to the next town. And have supported us now for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So it's important for me to say thank you to all these people who've given us a career. I mean, we call it playing music, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, my job is to play. You know, they don't call it working music. Mm-hmm. And so we're just so grateful. And this is a time of real gratitude for us, and it's important to express that. So thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, thank you. And also for the new music that's going to be coming out. We don't know when, so you've got to follow them on their website and social media. Maybe some singles rolling out within the next year or so. Who's to know?
Who knows?
Yeah, so you got to keep up with Vertical Horizon.
Yeah.
Matt Scannell, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Eric.
Appreciate it.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.